Hi, this is Coach Hall, and welcome to the Monday Motivational Meeting, the last one of the year. That's right. There is one more Monday left in this year, but I'm going to take next week off. I'm going to take the last couple of weeks off to recuperate from a very long, trying year. 2021 has been a very challenging year. Probably for you as well, but certainly has been challenging for me. I have to put it right there at the top of maybe the most challenging year in its totality. Just from individual stuff and family stuff and business stuff and pretty much every category of my life, there's some issues going on. And that's fine. And I'm doing well with it. And thank God I practice ACT, and thank God I practice 6FEM, and thank God I understand how to use the CTME, and thank God I practice the optimal happy life coaching for myself as a practitioner, because if I wasn't doing these things, I would probably be in the funny farm. I mean, seriously, they would straight jacket the whole thing, blah, 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 going crazy, for sure. But because I practice these things, I feel like 2021 has been kind of a test. It's the test that you take in life. You learn these things, you practice these things, and you teach these things, and at some point, life's going to say, okay, if you really got the goods, let's see if you can do what you preach, coach. Can you do what you teach, and can you do what you preach? And I've been put to the test this year, and I have to say, not to brag or to boast, but even my own coach that I see about once a week, they can't believe what I've been able to sort of survive, not just survive, but actually thrive this year. And thank goodness. So I'm my own testimonial here, folks. So if you're going through some tough, use these things we teach here, because they will get you through with flying colors. It's not that you're not going to feel pain. You're going to feel pain. We all feel pain. And you're going to go through some hard things, and all these thoughts that you may have, and the feelings and the emotions that you're going to have we would put them in the category of the negative thoughts and the negative feelings and the negative emotions. They don't have to run your life, but they do need to be acknowledged. They do need to be accepted, in the sense that we need to accommodate them and make allowances for them. That's what acceptance is all about. Okay, it's those 3 A's. Remember the 3 A's of acceptance: acknowledge it, allow it, and accommodate it. So we have to do that. And if we do that, and we work on these frameworks, and we use all the techniques that we teach Star Family Coaching, and all the different courses that you may have found on Udemy or at my school at Star Family Coaching, or some of the other platforms that are just getting started. And I don't want to name them all, but I've got a few different platforms I'm working with at this point. But if you came in through those avenues, welcome to the group. And I want to talk about, as the final day, this is December 20th, 2021. I love all of you guys at LLE. 2021 is crumbling, it's falling apart, it's about to end, thank goodness, to some sense. But this is the end of the year, Monday motivational meeting. And the topic that I want to spend, being this is the last one of the year, is love, fear, and peace. And we're going to get into that in a moment. And I also want to look at just the year in review, if you will. So we're going to kind of do a quick review of the year for the LLE, as well as talk about the topic of love, fear, and peace, and what does that mean. But before we do that, we've had a little growth. Take these off for a second. We had a little growth this week. Again, a couple more members. I think we dropped down to 72, but we popped back up to 74. So we're going in the right direction in terms of growth. That's wonderful. I'm going to send out welcome to the new members on Wednesday. That's usually what I do Wednesday. It might be one of the last posts I do for the year, before we get into my family celebrates Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and then we'll probably have to recover for a few days after all that celebrating. And then we start winding things up and down and ready for New Year's, which is a big celebration in my family as well. So lots of festivities happening. Looking forward to all of those fun times that are coming. And then we get back to business the first week of January. Haven't figured out exactly what that is on the calendar yet, but it'll be early January when we get back to the Monday morning, or the Monday motivational meetings. Okay, group size is at 74, and I'm going to take a couple of weeks off, as I said, from producing the Monday motivational meetings. I probably still, as much as I can, as long as I have the time in the morning, until family starts arriving and it gets too busy to really post anything. I'll still be posting my bed that's being made in the morning, and the water that I'm drinking each and every day, and pictures of my dog and all that stuff. So you know that I'm still, no matter what day of the week it is, I still start my days off the same way, accomplishing these tiny little tasks, these tiny little goals that get me going and have my mind wired in a positive way for the rest of the day. Okay, and I want to prove that to you by showing you what I'm doing each and every day. And I have only Sonia to thank for putting that concept in my mind, in my head, and sharing that with me, and so I can now share it with you, and she does it as well. So that's what we'll continue to do starting next year. I've got some other ideas about next year that we'll talk about at the beginning of the year. Okay, so this group, as we all are aware of, is called Learning, Launching, and Earning. And back in February, I decided to open this group. And I've been calling it for probably the first 6-7 months of the group being open, the beta group. Because I was tinkering around with things and really starting to work on the school, my own personal school, if you will, Star Family Coaching School, which I have a few classes up, and I just got a couple of students in there that are helping me kind of beta test it out. Okay, now a lot of you, almost all of you, have come through Udemy and have taken courses using that platform. And I'm in the process of getting my school ready to launch, but I'm having it correspond with a marketing campaign, kind of start the whole thing, if you will. And that part's been a bit difficult for me, not only because it's a bit of a learning curve, but this beginning around May or June, my dad passed away. My mother was going through cancer surgery, and then I had to go to Spain to help rescue, that's the word I'm going to use, help pack up my in-laws, because they were, because of COVID and some safety issues, had to get them out of Spain and help them move. So spent 18 days over there helping box them up and move them over here, and they're moved in with us. And just that whole process of having us all living under one roof, and then they're having some medical issues on top of it, and my children have had issues because of COVID and lost jobs, and it's just a whole lot of stuff seemed to hit me at the same time, which put me behind schedule on these things I wanted to do with my school and launching the school. Okay, so it's still in the works, and so hopefully 2022 we'll be able to get that thing fired up and ready to go. Okay, so in the meantime, for you guys, the learning, launching, earning has been an A to B, A to B, A to B opportunity, if you will. And that's what I made the group for. I decided that not only did I want to create a basic student support group, there's a lot of my peers that do the same thing. They have these wonderful groups. I moderated a few of these groups myself, and the primary purpose was to help the students learn the materials. Like they take the course and maybe they're a little confused about some things, which is easy to do because it's new information and we don't know what we don't know. And to make sure that we are understanding it right, sometimes we need to ask questions, and if you don't have anybody to ask the question to, then you're still left feeling like you don't know. Maybe I got it wrong. And so this is an opportunity to speak with the instructor and other students who are maybe moved along and really understand that material, and they're at the next level, the next lesson, next chapter, next course, and getting in there with other people that are like-minded and that are on a similar course, similar journey. And it's just a great way to learn. When you're in with a bunch of people learning the same material, dealing with similar stages in their life, you can get a lot more out of it, and the information that you're learning can be retained at a higher level of retention, and that's what you want. You want the highest level of retention because you don't want to waste time. And you want to see impact, right? And so that's what the A to B process is all about. But I wanted to take it a couple of steps further. I wanted to assist people in the application of that A to B, which is taking what you're learning from my courses and helping you learn how to actually apply it into your life so you truly become a practitioner of the methods and the techniques and the different frameworks that we offer in a variety of different courses. Then show you how to earn. And earning in the most simplified way is just basically, it boils down to explaining the why. Why are you doing this? Why do you want these disciplines in your life? Why do you want to know about ACT? Why do you want to know about CTME? Why do you want to know about optimal happy life? Why do you want to know about optimal parenting? Why do you want to know about any of the courses, the information that I offer in any of the courses? Why do you want to know that stuff? Why do you want to know NLP or CBT or any of these other things that I talk about briefly, but I don't go into great detail, which is what I'm thinking I might be doing in 2022, getting back into the course creating business and starting to put some NLP and some CBT courses out. Just where I'm kind of my head's going at right now. And for those of you that want to learn, launch, and earn, that's what we're here for. So the earning is just putting into process and answering your own individual why you're doing this. Why am I doing this? And then benefiting from the actions that you take because you start to launch. When you start to launch, you start to feel things, you start to witness things, you start to experience life in a different way. And if we do that without goals, then we may not notice it, we may not appreciate it as much. So the earning part really is, and the reason why I wanted to be in this group, we want to help each other out, support each other, refine those goals. What are those goals? And then plug in this stuff, launch in it so that we can earn something. And it might be you want to earn respect, you might want to earn some type of recognition, you might want to earn some money, you might want to earn a title, you might want to earn just the idea of finishing. I can complete something. It doesn't matter what it is that you want to earn, but we want to offer, and I wanted to offer a place to help you in that regard. And so that's what LLE is all about. It's all about these various A to B processes. And it's also cementing in the idea of what I've been teaching in all of my courses, which is these things are complicated bits of materials, all this stuff, because they don't teach this stuff to us in grade school. You have to go to very expensive, immersion type of programs that you can spend literally thousands and even tens of thousands of dollars doing to really start to feel the impact of it to the level that you might be able to bring it home and get back into your normal life and continue that change. And that's difficult for a lot of people. And it's difficult for people to come up with that kind of money to get that kind of experience. But I want to do it in an affordable way, and more that it takes a village. Basically, that's the idea. It takes a village. I want to help you, but I'm only one person that can help so many people. That's why I'm trying to push more participation. If we get more people in the group helping each other along, that's fine. And you don't have to be at my place in life, my station, my understanding of these techniques. And the truth of the matter is, for selfish reasons, there are people in this group, in our group, that do things that are absolutely amazing that I'm learning from as well. So I'm not just an instructor, I'm also a student. I'm a student from each and every one of you, because each and every one of you have a life experience that might be in a framework of some sort. It might be in a category. It might be in the realm of sound. It might be in the realm of something else that might fit into sort of an esoteric type of teaching or what have you. It really doesn't matter. We can all benefit from it. If it's helping you and you've seen it help others and you're willing to share that information, then we can all benefit from that. And moving on to the earning part, hey, guess who produces courses? Who's willing to be a partner? That's what this group's all about. I want to help take you to the next level if that's what you want. If you got something that you're doing that's helping people out, but maybe you don't know how to create courses, or maybe you like to go through the process with somebody who's done it at least 30 times, we can partner up. I've already done that with a few people, and I'm working on that with a couple other people at the moment. So that's just something that's out there. And so that's what we're going to continue doing in 2022 and moving forward. But while this has been an A to B for each and every one, this has also been a huge A to B process for me. I started out pretty ignorant about Facebook groups. I had a Facebook page before, and I probably wasn't even really good at updating that. In fact, I know I wasn't very good at keeping that updated with that. Facebook, I understand it enough to get myself in trouble, I guess. I know how to post things and all that. But I'm such a busy learner and so busy involved with other people. Some of these platforms stuff, I don't have enough time to really dive in and really learn all the nuances of each and every one of these social media things that are out there, right? So I'm still learning, and of course, Facebook likes to make changes quite frequently, and so that puts me a little bit behind the learning curve. So this year has really been about, I launched in February, but I'm just now starting to feel kind of comfortable with how the whole group thing works. Seems like every time I jump into the group, I see they've added another thing that we can do to the group, and I go, how can this help us out, and will we use this? And so I scratch my head and I look it over and I talk to some people about it, and some people say, well, you probably never use that, or maybe you can use it, but you got to do this other thing in addition to that. Like, okay, are we getting more complicated here? And I'm not about making my life more complicated. I'm about taking the complexities of life right now and trying to simplify it, because I think that's easier to teach and it's easier to practice. And so that's what's been going on with me. This group has really been an incredible learning experience. I'm in the two part. The A was I was totally ignorant, and B is not even, we haven't gotten close to the B, which is I want to be able to have a lot of folks, if not everybody in the group, at some point of their A to B journey, get to the B of their journey and get all the way to the earning part. I want to create some partnerships in the group. I want to create success stories where people say, hey, I've been doing these things now and I'm successful in just as a practitioner, or I'm launching my own coaching business, and these methods that I learned from you have helped me get to where I want to go and become the coach I want. That's what I'm trying to do, trying to change the lives of people. And we're just beginning in that. So I haven't gotten remotely close to the B, although I have to say I've made some wonderful friendships already in the group, and we have worked on a couple of projects with some individuals, and I don't have nothing but a lot of gratitude for my good friend Sonia, who each and every day she puts out a brilliant post. She's an incredible, very talented writer, and her writing is so inspirational. It's just really, go back and running, it's screaming on screensaver mode there. Okay, so she's an incredible talent, and I have nothing but the fondest feelings for her, and big love. If I could reach through the screen, I'd give her a big hug and a kiss on the cheek. She's amazing. I hope she continues doing what she's doing. I know she's changing the lives of so many people. I'm inspired and very, very impressed by what she's able to put out every day. And I hope everybody that tunes in, checks in every day, reads her posts. They're very, very inspirational, warming. I mean, they can change your mood in an instant. I can tell you, at least on a couple, 2 or 3 times, when I've been a little bit down, I read her post and I go, wow, look what this message is all about. What a wonderful person she is. And I'm so honored, not just to have her as a friend, but she's in the group, and she's a group expert, and she's putting these wonderful inspirational messages here in our group and sharing them with us every day. So I've got, big love for her, and I have nothing but the greatest of, thank you. I mean, I can't even put the words together. Okay. Now, finally, before we kind of wrap up our last MMM of the year, Monday motivational meeting, I want to return to the core of motivation, the core motivational drivers. But before I do that, I'm going to take a sip of water. Okay. So what are the core motivational drivers? Now, if you've taken my courses, you know I've talked about William Glasser, and I've talked about the whip and the carrot, and a lot of different motivational sort of theories and concepts that are out there. But the core, sort of the main core motivational drivers, is what I believe I touched on mostly in the CTME. This is from a developmental perspective, not from a theoretical perspective, but from an actual, this is how we develop as human beings. The 3 main motivational drivers are love, fear, and peace. These are the things that get us to move. This is to get your butt up out of the chair. Okay, this is what we want. We are willing to fight for love. We are willing to fight against fear or run away from fear, and we may even run away from love. And we sometimes just freeze up when it comes to fear, and sometimes we freeze up when it comes to love. We're like waiting, I love you, and then we're waiting, is he or she going to say I love you back? Or, we're like deer in the headlights. We put ourselves out there, we make ourselves vulnerable. I love you, and then we wait. And then we hope, and if they don't say it in the moment, it could be weeks and weeks. When are they going to tell us? When are they going to tell me? So fear and love have the same run away, fight it, or freeze kind of actions. But the big difference is that we tend to be drawn towards love. We want love. Whereas fear is kind of the opposite. I kind of say that love attracts and fear repels in the most general ways possible. And remember, I'm an A to B, keep it super simple, kiss it, keep it super simple type of person. And in the most simplistic way, we could say that love is an attraction. We are attracted to somebody, we see somebody, we're attracted to it, we fall in love with it. Okay, whereas fear is not something we're going to run towards, right? We're not going to run towards fear. That's called bravery, and sometimes we have to do that, but that's not one of our core things. That's in a higher developmental level where you have to think things through, and you're going, okay, I got to weigh the short-term, detriments versus the long-term benefits type of thing. And the long-term benefits, I'm going to get beat up. I might even lose my arm, but if I fight a hard battle, we'll win, and that enemy will go away. We'll never have to deal with that again. Okay, so that's bravery, and sometimes we do that with fear, so we only do that with bravery. But at the core we're not running towards fear. When fear comes towards us, something that creates fear in us, we might fight it, we might run away from it, or we might freeze up and, hopefully they just go away, right? But sometimes in life, in fact, oftentimes in life, we're not running towards love and we're not running away or fighting or frozen from fear. We just are simply seeking peace. The chaos around us is gotten to a point where we're like, time out. Okay, I'm tired of the battles. I'm tired of the fighting. I'm even tired of the overwhelming feeling of love, right? Sometimes that can happen. In the holiday season, you've got so many people maybe in your life, and if you're fortunate, this will happen to you, that you'll have all these people, and it can be overwhelming with everybody coming wanting your attention, and you feel the love. I can tell you from firsthand experience, on my 50th birthday, it's been like 10 years ago, my wife did this big party for me, and I had over 200 people attend this party. I didn't even know I knew 200 people, but apparently, and I know far more than 200 people, but the thing is, I didn't know I knew 200 people well enough that they would come to a birthday party, and it was overwhelming. It was too much. I actually, at one point, all I did for like the first hour and a half was greet people. Hello, how you doing? Thank you for coming to the party. And then there's a line of people, and welcome to the party. Come on. And then the next one, and the next one, and I felt like my heart was being ripped out, because everybody that went by, I wanted to spend some time with these people. There were people I hadn't seen in quite a while, and I wanted to spend some time with them. But then the next person, so it was just constant. I was overwhelmed by it, and I literally started to have some stomach pains, which is one of the things that used to happen to me when the first symptoms of panic for me and so I recognize that I'm starting to feel overwhelmed, and I'm feeling like I'm on that first step or two of anxiety, and which is many, many steps away from panic, but I recognize this stuff in myself. And I told my wife, I said, listen, I'm going to have to step away. I'm sorry that I'm not going to be able to continue greeting, but I got to go outside and just get away for a few minutes. And so I did. I actually jumped in my car and I drove home back to my house, which was about 2 or 3 blocks away. And I sat there and I took a couple of deep breaths, and I talked to one of my children on the phone who was actually at the party, and I was trying to explain to them what was going on, because they're like, "Where are you, Dad?" But I'm over here. Don't worry about it. I'll be there. I just had to catch my breath for a few minutes and get ready, to dive back in. And so I did. I took a little time for me, and I went back and got back into the party, and it was wonderful. But that's a case of our too much love. I needed a little peace. And so I went and sought some peace, found a little peace, collected myself, and then was able to continue on. And this message was sort of popped into my head as a result of watching a guy that I admire greatly. I would put him in the category of guru, and that's Deepak Chopra. He was being interviewed by someone, and they were talking about, in the most simplistic way, what would you say is the secret to mastering your mind? And in a word, he said stillness. Seeking stillness. Focusing on stillness. Keeping your mind at rest. And that's it. That's what we're trying to do. That's what peace is, and sometimes that's what we need. So that's the other driver. Love, fear, and peace. And sometimes we have to remind ourselves that we need peace. We need calm. We spend a third of our life asleep, and hopefully during that sleep you're getting some peaceful, restful relaxation during that time. But we need it even in the waking times of our life. the other 2/3 of our life. We still need peace. And sometimes we got to seek it out. We got to go get it. We got to go grab it. And so we need to be motivated by peace. So keeping our mind at rest, and how Deepak Chopra described it was, it's that place between thoughts. We have one thought and we move to the next thought. But in between, there's a space and there's a place that if we focus in on it, you can do this with meditation. And once you get really good at it, you can move to, this is literally still meditation, where you're getting in a very calm place, or listening to some sort of rhythmic tone, or smelling something that's very pleasant and peaceful. You can get to that peaceful place and just focus on the senses. Okay, and then just empty your mind of everything, and you get to this real wonderful place of stillness. And our mind needs that from time to time. And if you get really good at it, you can move into dynamic meditation, and that's why I practice a lot of dynamic meditation, so that when I'm in a situation, because life pretty much is dynamic, I can excuse myself and jump into the stillness ASAP and get a dose of that. It's like a good shot of, whew, okay, and then I can get back into it. So sometimes it's as simple as just doing, one of these exercises that we talk about, the 4-7-8 exercise, for example, might be one of these breathing exercises, or just 4-4-4. There's a different types of breathing exercise, but the idea is that what you're going to focus on is just breathing. You're going to take a deep breath and fill up your lungs, and you're going to slowly release that air out, and then you're going to take in another deep breath, and then once you get used to that, you can start holding your breath for a period of time and do the same thing. So you go from a 2-stage process to a 3-stage process, and this is all what you're doing up here. And as long as you know you're doing it up here, you can do other things up here, and one of those things that you can do up here is seek out peace and stillness, which is very good for you. The body needs it, the mind needs it, and this is how you can get through difficult times, and even wonderful times like holiday times, where we're trying to figure out if we can go see our family now because of this new Omicron, or the Delta, or if you're still dealing with the original COVID-19, and all the suddenly, if you missed a year, like a lot of us did last year, suddenly you got maybe too many family members coming in at you, and you could feel overwhelmed. You could get too much love, believe it or not. So go out and seek out some peace. Okay, so that's it. I want to end on a very peaceful note. I wish you guys, in the spirit of the season, we're at the end of the year, I want to wish everyone here in the LLE group peace for the rest of this year, and as much as you can possibly need, all the peace that you need. I wish that for you in 2022 as well. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, and may each and every one of you have a happy new year. And as I always do at the end of every MMM, Monday motivational meeting, live long and prosper, each and every one of you. Go through life being cool. Make sure you're not just looking at life through rose-colored glasses, but change the specs that you see life through from time to time. Get as much perspective from as many different angles as you possibly can. Fill up your life and be cool about it, and then share the love.